I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5?
It's become such a part of pop culture now, but when you see that moment, it's one of the most cold-blooded things you'll ever hear one human being say to another.
Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
I think that moment is the moment at which Clint stopped being just an ordinary star and started being a superstar.
Yeah, I suppose that moment was defining. That's the one that sort of kicks it off, where people go, okay, this is going to be a different kind of ride.
Once something enters the culture that way, people are going to remember it.
If I had a buck for every American male who's come up to me and quoted that last line.
Well, this happens to be the .57 Magnum, punk. The most powerful handgun on Earth. And I gotta say,
all the excitement, I kind of forgot myself.
You've got to ask yourself a question.
Do I feel lucky?
Do I feel lucky?
do you feel lucky?
Feeling lucky, punk.
Do you feel lucky?
Well, do you, punk?
I mean, I'm telling you, in the men's room, I'm at the urinal, and I'm standing there, and, you know, and suddenly there's this guy looking at me and quoting,
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
One of the big characters of the Dirty Harry series is his gun.
It is a character. You know, the Model 29 does become a character.
My, that's a big one.
Well, it's a .357 Magnum. I mean, it's the most powerful handgun in the world. I can't believe I just said that. It's like a cannon. It's like holding a miniature cannon in your hand. I mean, it's just a boom. It's got a big kickback. And what's cool about Harry is that he always just kind of did it one-handed, you know? I mean, you got all these guys in the movies nowadays, and they all got the stance going, you know, and they got the 2 hands, and they're going around the corners like this, you know, with the pistols. And, you know, Harry just walks in, he's just like, hey, bam! One-handed with that thing. And it's great.
Hearing that big-ass gun go off.
The magnified Magnum.
That magnified Magnum. The bad guy's gun will go, pow, pow, pow. And Harry's be like, pow, pow. And Miami Vice took it, and every cop movie's taken it since.
You joining the act, too?
Harry's got to be the godfather of the genre. He wasn't the first character, but he was probably the single most popular in the history of the genre. Everyone knows Dirty Harry.
Every movie after that seemed to be, for a while, about some cop that was on the edge, and he and his partner were on the edge and were going to go beyond the law.
That follows as the night follows the day, doesn't it? If a feature film is successful, it generates godchildren.
After Dirty Harry movies, cops got real street. Harry really opened the door for a lot of very hairy characterizations.
There was more the vigilante justice stuff of Charles Bronson. And that was a cousin to Harry Callahan because it was the guy who's been wronged and he's going to get the bad guys and he's a vigilante because the police just can't do it.
What Dirty Harry did was establish an edge to the action character that summed up, I think, what the 70s had to say about action heroes.
You could argue that Serpico might not have existed without Dirty Harry.
I think it opened up a whole new avenue of how police shows were looked at on television.
I think a lot of the cop shows of that era were born out of that, be it Streets of San Francisco or Kojak. There was that Fred Dryer TV show for years, Hunter, that was a direct lift from Dirty Harry.
Certainly in NYPD Blue, the main character, that Sipowicz character who is remarkable, that's as close to Harry Callahan as you can get.
Movies like the Stallone movie Cobra are obvious takeoffs on Dirty Harry, where they hire the same actors and put them in almost the same roles. Everyone, in a way, they're kind of just paying homage or doffing their hats to the biggest of the early iconic characters.
That sort of loner character against the system, I mean, it's something that I adopted in Midnight Run. Jack Walsh, the character that I wrote, that Robert De Niro played, he was a guy outside the system, you know, who basically had to turn his back on the system.
I know it was seminal in the back of my mind as I'm writing Lethal Weapon and the character of Martin Riggs. Characters who are sort of burned out, they don't care if they live or die, because when you're in that position of having nothing to lose, you know, you can really do some crazy things. You can truly go the route of the anti-hero.
You saw a whole generation of films kind of born out of that understanding of the anti-hero and somebody who travels that world between the black and white kind of totems of society and that gray area.
Dirty Harry has shaped the idea that a hero doesn't have to be lily-white, pristine, white hat guy, but can actually wear the gray hat. He's definitely the advent of the gray hat.
Once somebody does something so good that it can never be repeated, it sticks in everyone's minds forever.
Everybody loves Dirty Harry. Whether you're a man or a woman, you're going to have something to appreciate about the Dirty Harry that fights for what's right.
When people who are lawless destroy everything in their path, what do you do? Dirty Harry handled the situation very well.